Bruce Schneier illustrated how the government and companies surveillance any individual at any given moment. We are simply allow ourselves to be surveillance for free services and become vulnerable online. Bruce discussed in the book that surveillance needs to change to help protect individuals rather than protecting possible terrorist attacks, and I agree. Our privacy has been decreasing over the years. In the article, Towards a New Era of Mass Data Collection, Assessing Pandemic Surveillance Technologies to Preserve User Privacy, Rubino, Negrete, Suras, and Palacios Mariquez discuss how companies such as Google and Apple are tracking the COVID pandemic. By using smartphones and opt-in options, these companies are able to track COVID-related patients within a certain area. Companies believe that this is helpful to track and prevent future diseases. Yet, these tracking systems haven't decreased the level of COVID infections. We are merely tracked by our phones with no evidence that these tracking systems benefit us from preventing future diseases. Also, in another article, America's Perception of Privacy and Surveillance in the COVID-19 Pandemic, Zane, Krebs, McMurray, and McCain surveyed 2,000 individuals based off privacy and surveillance of COVID infections. In the overall study, only 36% agreed that governments should require the usage of tracking apps. In addition, the article stated the development of such apps should not record location data, identities of users, and the data should not be transmitted to central servers. However, the existence of apps today for COVID information does require the collection of data from individuals. Moving forward, Bruce stated, us as individuals need to make sure that privacy is not something that is being traded away and for fear of guaranteed security, but something to be maintained and protected in order to have real security. Us as consumers need to understand and protect ourselves online. Rubino, Negrete, Suras, and Palacios Mariquez also indicated in their article that consumers are not necessarily reading all privacy policies and are accepting terms and conditions without reading all information. A recommendation for us individuals is taking the time to reading these private policies and see what companies are actually collecting from us. Another recommendation Rubino, Negrete, Suras, and Palacios Mariquez suggested is to have companies delete information after 30 days and provide evidence of deletion. In the article, if My Data is Your Data, a framework for addressing interdependent privacy infringements, Kamliner and Mitchell illustrated the 3 R's that helps us better understand how we are failing to protect our data and how we could prevent it. The first R illustrates is recognition of transfers, which allows companies and apps the ability to collect data such as a contact list. The second R is recognizing other people's rights. Everybody has the right not to share information online, and we should be refraining from sharing it with companies and apps. The third R is respecting other people's rights. Similar to the second R, we should be refraining from giving information from our families and friends to companies. This book has demonstrated how we are subconsciously being tracked. And the government and companies should make us aware of what information that is being tracked whenever we are surfacing online, shopping online, etc. We need to hold ourselves more accountable and hold the companies and the government more accountable for the generations to come